Everyone get their leftovers today, I hope. I've had leftovers now for what? So Thursday after Thanksgiving, of course, I had more leftovers because you have to have a late night turkey sandwich on toast with a little cheese and some mayo, right? That's a required remedy. And then yesterday I had turkey sandwich because why not? It's delicious and it's turkey. And then I just had turkey and mashed potatoes and corn pudding and gravy and cranberry sauce and all the stuff because, yeah, it's good leftovers. So happy leftovers. It's leftover Saturday. So hopefully people got leftovers and had a good Thanksgiving. And all your relatives are now getting ready to leave. Or you've left your relatives that you didn't want to spend time with in the first place. Because that's what happens. We narrowly avoided a 27-person dinner. So I'm happy to report that there was no crazy drunk uncles or aunts. There was no political fights. There was no arguments or other ill feelings hurt at the Thanksgiving dinner. That's a beautiful thing. So it's leftovers. So celebrate the leftovers. Welcome to Randsanity, episode 182. But we're not really counting because this can be your first day and it could be your 180th day. Because we're just going to talk about some music trivia, actors, actresses, all that stuff. It's kind of lumping it together. There's no specific time frame. Sometimes it goes back all the way to the, I don't know, when did music and TV and entertainment start? I think the cavemen. We talk about the cavemen sometimes banging rocks, and the first caveman story was. And then, of course, we'll talk about, more modern things all the way up to the today, the here and the now. So that's how that works. So don't forget to like, subscribe, say hi, do all that stuff. I can see stuff screaming over here on my sidebar of comments and things. So please make sure you comment, say hello, all that good stuff. Fair enough? Fair enough. Anybody that paid attention, Ohio State did win against Michigan today. I took a survey last night and people were thinking that, obviously there was Michigan fans and there was Ohio State fans. So that's happened. I didn't see the rest of the scores yet. So I saw there was some Alabama football going on and they were tied and other things. So football, football Saturday. Who doesn't love that? And then tomorrow's football Sunday, which I won't be partaking in. I'm going to be working as normal on a Sunday because that's what I do. Got to work. And yesterday we talked about, I missed yesterday of who was born and who died yesterday. So the only two people I found of note that I didn't really look at the birthdays. I looked at who died yesterday that I might have missed. Leslie Nielsen from Naked Gun, Airplane, funny Leslie Nielsen. He died at the age of 84 in 2010. I can't believe he died 15 years ago. But yes, Airplane and Police Squad and all that stuff. That was Leslie Nielsen. He all made all those funny movies. And the other person that died was Dave Prowse. Darth Vader. Darth Vader died? He died of COVID in 2020 at the age of 85. Darth Vader was 85? Who knew? And of COVID of all things. What the hell, Darth? You're supposed to use the Force. Apparently that didn't happen. I don't know. Oh, we've got some cheers and jeers tonight. A couple of the category people here tonight. We're going to give them the thumbs up, and they were great. And we're going to give somebody the douche of the day because, man, I was like, bro, what are you doing? That's just not great. But that's what happens. All right? So we'll start. We'll get into it. Say hello. Hi to all you people. Rad and Kathy and Mark and Nate and Allison and Madeline and Blair with lots of spaces. All right. 1963, the Beatles. The Beatles song, I Want to Hold Your Hand, was released in the UK. It was the first time in the UK that advanced orders for any album or any single passed the 1 million mark before it was released. So the Beatles hold that as a record, being the first band in the UK to ever have pre-sale numbers that were more than 1 million. That's pretty impressive in 1963. But again, that's how people were listening to music. It was listening to music on vinyl, all the albums. I was like, how else would you do it? So that was all the good stuff there was. So just saying. All right, moving on. The Rolling Stones in 1965 were given a day throughout the state of Colorado. The governor, John A. Love. John A. Love. Now, that's a governor. Gov Love right there. I know a Gov Love, but Governor A. Love declared Rolling Stones Day throughout the state as the Stones appeared at the Denver Coliseum in Colorado during a North American tour. I mean, isn't that nice? You can just be the governor and be like, I declare this Rolling Stones Day, or whatever day you want to declare it. I declare this Turkey Day. I declare this Star Wars Day. Well, that's May 4th. I mean, that already has a thing. I mean, you can't really claim Star Wars Day on a day that's not May 4th, though, right? I mean, wouldn't that be weird? I guess that would be weird, right? That would be very weird. So, no, you can't just claim Star Wars Day. But you can claim other days. Because, again, Governor Gov Love showed us that. All right, speaking of governors, in 1969, the Beatles went to #1 on the U.S. singles chart with their 26th release in the United States, Come Together, which became the group's 18th U.S. #1. John Lennon was inspired by Timothy Leary's campaign for governor in California, titled Come Back Together, Join the Party against Ronald Reagan. Giving him the idea for the track, Something was the first Beatles song written by George Harrison to appear as an A-side. Now, the funny story is, Timothy Leary, if you don't know who Timothy Leary is, go look in your history books. He was the guy, drop acid, drop out of society, drop in, drop out. Just a lot of it. So, many years ago, Timothy Leary came to the radio station. I've got pictures with him. My assistant at the time, Matt. Now, we know Timothy Leary's coming to the radio station, okay? He's on his way down. And Matt happened to be at the front door, and this older, sort of disheveled-looking gentleman comes in. And we were on the south side of Columbus, and sometimes we got unhoused that came into the building. And, we have to be nice. And we're just like, hey, what are you doing? Can I help you? What do you need? It's a radio station. Sorry, this isn't a business. And so this sort of disheveled-looking gentleman comes in the door, and Matt's like, oh, hey, buddy, how you doing? Good to see you. But, we got to just... it's a radio station, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hey, great. I was like, guess what? We welcome Mr. Timothy Leary into the building. Matt thought I was that unhoused guy who had just kind of stumbled in off the street because he came in without an entourage. He didn't have anybody with him. There was no manager. He just kind of strolled up, had like a Band-Aid on his face or somewhere on his hand. And he was kind of a little disheveled looking. And we were just like, oh my God, it's freaking Timothy Leary of all people. It was kind of crazy. So yes, there's a picture of him somewhere that I'll have to find. But yes, that's the Timothy Leary story. So if you don't know who Timothy Leary is, go look for the whole thing about acid, LSD. In 1975, Neil Young recorded Like a Hurricane at the Broken Arrow Ranch in Woodside, California. The song was released a couple years later on his album American Stars and Bars. The song remains a fan favorite and a concert staple for the remainder of Young's career. So he still plays it to this day. Remember when we met Neil Young, he played Like a Hurricane, which was amazing. So that is one of those songs that you don't mind playing. Because again, we talk about this all the time. When you go to see a concert and they say, do you want to hear new songs? And everyone's like, no, we just want to hear our favorites. We want to hear the good stuff that we played forever. I don't want to listen to new crap. I know, but that's the way it works sometimes. They have to get the new band, has to get new music. Otherwise, you don't have new, familiar, friendly music. It's only the old stuff. and they don't make money from the old stuff because you stop coming to the shows when you get too old. People are like, I can't go, it's too loud. Just saying. Not me. I listen to loud music. In 1976, the Sex Pistols, Lancaster Local Council, canceled their gig at the Lancaster Poly in England. The reason was given in a statement by the council. So this is like their city council. It said, we don't want that sort of filth, the Sex Pistols, in the town limits. I mean, come on, man. This is the Middle Ages? Well, it is. It was London in 1976. That's kind of the Middle Ages. Sorry if you're from London. Just saying. You know, a little more puritanical, I think, is what I'm grasping at. The puritanical kind of belief that, yes, you know, the Sex Pistols are bad. Bad, bad. How dare you? Jumping to 1980, ABBA, our favorite Scandinavian band, ABBA scored their 9th and last UK #1 single with Super Trooper. It was the group's 25th top 40 in the UK. The name Super Trooper referred to the gigantic spotlight used in concert stadiums. Now, the troopers spelled T-R-O-U-P-E-R, like not like a T-R-O-O-P-R, like as in like, you know, Super Troopers, that hilarious movie that, you know, everyone loves. Farva. Meow. Meow, meow, meow. Yes. Meow. Just saying. In 1980 as well, John and Yoko's Double Fantasy album was released. Though initially poorly received, the album is notable for its association with Lennon's murder 3 weeks after its release. That's right. 3 weeks from today would be December the 8th, and John Lennon was murdered on December the 8th in New York City. It became a worldwide commercial success and went on to win the 1981 Album of the Year and the 24th Annual Grammy Awards. Obviously, that was posthumously because John was dead. Just saying. Now, That's What I Call Music was launched in the UK. A mission to anthologize, like that word, anthologize, the biggest chart hits of the day. The first track on the first album was You Can't Hurry Love by Phil Collins. And it also contained hits like Karma Chameleon. We know that one. Karma. Mm-hmm. Red, Red Wine, UB40. Total Eclipse of the Heart. The series took its name from a 1930s advertising poster for Danish bacon featuring a pig saying, now that's what I call music, as it listened to a chicken singing. What the hell? Like I said, the UK is so weird. That's just so weird. The most successful volume to date is 1999. Now That's What I Call Music number 44, which sold 2.3 million copies as the biggest selling compilation album ever. It opened with Britney Spears' Baby One More Time. Well, that's why. It's Britney, Britney, Britney. I mean, come on. Everyone loves Britney, Britney, Britney. Even though we give Britney, Britney, Britney grief. Who doesn't love Britney, Britney, Britney? In 1986, You Give Love a Bad Name by John Bon Jovi went on to #1 in the United States, giving the group their first big hit. It was written by the group leaders John Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora, along with Desmond Child, whose choruses can be heard on I Was Made for Lovin' You by Kiss and Dude Looks Like a Lady by Aerosmith. Bon Jovi's next single is Living on a Prayer, written by the same trio. So, yeah, I was going to say, wait a second. Dude Looks Like a Lady and I Was Made for Lovin' by Kiss. That's where that chorus can be heard on. Interesting. So, all three songs have that in common, that same chorus. I see. In 1997, Whitney Houston pulled out of a concert sponsored by the Moonies. Now, if you don't know who the Moonies are, there was this dude named Sung Young Moon who basically had this cult of people that are the Moonies. You know, they were like Hare Krishna at airports all the time. So, anyway, She pulled out of a concert sponsored by the Moonies 2 hours before she was due on stage after finding out the event was a mass wedding for over 1,000 Mooney couples. The religious group said they had no intention of suing, providing the singer returned the $1 million fee she had received. So she was going to play a wedding for 1,000 people, 1,000 couples for $1 million, and decided to say, I don't really want to preside over a 1,000 couple wedding of Moonies. I wonder if she returned the cash. I didn't see that. I'm assuming she did. She probably was like, take the money. I'm not going to perform for Moonies. In 1997, Perfect Day, performed by various artists, including Elton John, Bono, Tom Jones, and David Bowie, went on the #1 UK singles chart. It was originally written and recorded by Lou Reed in 1973, but this new collaboration of 29 major artists was a fundraiser for the BBC's Children in Need charity. That's a great song. If you've never heard Lou Reed sing Beautiful Day, go Google it, go Spotify it, do whatever you do to listen to it, but listen to that one. It's a very cool, haunting melody. It's been a lot of things. You've heard it in lots of places. So it was definitely a good one. Definitely like that. In 2000, Chuck Berry's longtime piano player, Johnny Johnson, sued the rock legend, alleging that he had written most of the music for 52 of Chuck Berry's classics. The suit was thrown out by a judge who ruled that the statute of limitations had run out on any claims. I mean, Sour Grapes? I wrote all those songs. 10 years too late. Still wrote all those songs. I want money. Give me money. No, it's not happening. You should have told me this after you wrote them and they were hits. Not wait till he's dead and gone and they're trying to sue his estate and no one can complain about it. That's what happens there. Just saying. Now, here you go. Here is the good guy of the word a day. U2's Larry Mullen came to the rescue of a motorcyclist who had been involved in an accident. Larry was driving home when he saw the motorcyclist who had crashed and stopped to call for help on his phone and then waited for the ambulance to arrive. Bravo. Very good. Larry Mullen, you show that humanity still has some humanity left in 2000. I don't know if that happened today, but On this day in 2001, we lost Beatles' George Harrison. He died in Los Angeles, California of lung cancer, age 58. Following the breakups with the Beatles, Harrison had a successful career as a solo artist. Later, come on, what am I doing? I'm not paying attention. See, that's what happens. If I don't pay attention, I'm too engrossed in making sure I give you a quality product. I don't know the camera turns off. See, if I use this one, it doesn't turn off. But that one does. This one doesn't turn off. I can always go to this one. But this one, for some reason, keeps clicking off every 20 minutes. I have no idea. It also helps me keep time. If I'm going too long or if I'm going too short. So apparently I'm right on cue. Anyway, so he was also part of the Traveling Wilburys, if you remember that band. He was the youngest member of the Beatles. He was only 16 when he joined. His compositions included Taxman, Here Comes the Sun, Something, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and he released his own triple album with All Things Must Pass in 1970, which contains his worldwide #1 hit of My Sweet Lord. So George Harrison, gone on this day, 2001, November the 29th. And we talked about his sister last night, so that means a year later, in 2002, she was out of cash because she got stopped paying from the estate while he was alive. And again, like I said, you would think that would have kept up, right? Wouldn't that be sort of like a trust that you'd have forever? I don't know, man. You know, if I have George Harrison money, I'm making sure that my sister's taken care of. I mean, come on, bro. What's up with that? In 2002, 3 paintings by Paul McCartney were bought for just $45 each at the Secrets postcard sale in London's Royal College of Art. Members of the public gambled on whether they were buying works by celebrity artists at a fraction of their value, as the picture's creator was only made known after it had sold. I'm betting that the guy who bought, or gal who bought, a couple of the McCartney pictures for, $45 was happy. That definitely made somebody happy, because I'm sure that that's worth at least a shekel or two more than that. Now, my favorite Idol guy, Simon Cowell, was sued by pop Idol creator Simon Fuller. He dropped his $150 million copyright case against the X Factor, and Fuller basically sued him out of court. They settled it, and basically the deal was that Cowell made Fuller a partner in the X Factor show. Simon Fuller had claimed that Simon Cowell's ITV show, The X Factor, copied his successful pop idol format in a case taken to London's High Court. As part of the settlement, Mr. Cowell agreed to appear in at least 5 more series of American Idol. So we have that to look forward to. Good old Simon Cowell. In 2007, Control, the biopic about the late Joy Division singer Ian Curtis, scooped 5 prizes at the British Independent Film Awards. The black and white film, which featured The Killers, David Bowie, and New Order on the soundtrack, was shot for just $3.7 million. It's actually a great movie. So if you like Joy Division, I would highly recommend you watch it. It's definitely a good biopic, for sure. And, look, as biopics go, I definitely say it's one of the better ones. Some of them suck. I'm sorry. Sometimes biopics can be terrible. It's just like, whoever shot it, it's like, dude, come on. You didn't do any research. You just thought you'd throw this guy's name on it. People were going to flock to the theater and be like, this is great. No, it sucks. But this is actually a really good one. They definitely took their time and did some good deep research, and it's got some good stuff going on with it. I liked it. Speaking of people that suck, Morrissey was set to sue a UK music weekly, the NME, after it failed to apologize for an article focusing on his views of immigration. The magazine had criticized the then 48-year-old Morrissey for allegedly telling a reporter in Britain that it had lost its identity due to the high levels of immigration. Oh, Morrissey, go have a bologna sandwich. Okay, now this gets the Douche of the Day award. In 2007, former Leonard Skinner drummer Artemis Pyle, a convicted sex offender, was arrested for failing to properly register a new permanent address. The 59-year-old had pleaded guilty in 1993 to charges of attempted capital sexual battery by an adult on a victim younger than 12. Gross. And being principal to lewd and lascivious behavior on a child younger than 16. Gross. He was sentenced to 8 more years of probation for failing to register. I didn't bother to look at what happened in the initial aspect of it because, again, I was like, really? Makes me think Leonard Skinner drummer Artemis Pyle is a piece of pile. Yes. I have said that. He is a pile. So there you go. Just saying. Now, this I found to be interesting. In 2009, Susan Boyle became the best-selling debut in UK chart history when it sold #1 on the UK chart. The 48-year-old runner-up of ITV's Britain's Got Talent sold 400,000 copies of I Dreamed a Dream. Boyle also topped the U.S. charts, setting a first-week sales record for a female debut with 700,000 copies sold in the first week. 48-year-old debut. That's pretty damn good. Got to say, got to give Susan Boyle hats off for that one. Never too old, okay? Just never too old. Just saying, that's the way that works. In 2004, Kendrick Lamar was #1 on the UK charts with his 6th studio album, GNX. It was Lamar's second #1 album on the UK charts after To Pimp a Butterfly in 2015. GNX earned over 44 million first-day streams on the global Spotify chart, averaging over 3.6 million streams per song, despite being available only 7 hours prior. That's crazy. In the United States, GNX debuted atop the Billboard 200 with 319,000 album equivalent units, including 379.72 million official on-demand streams. Kendrick Lamar. Damn. That is pretty good. That's a lot of streams. Think about that. 379.72 million on-demand streams. We talked about this a bunch. In the radio industry, places like iHeart, they won't play you if you don't have like 1 million streams. They won't even look at you. So Discovery, if you are a TikTok artist, you have to get a lot of people listening to your streams for ever to get signed. Because now it's all about self-discovery. A lot of this stuff is, the record labels kind of just sit back now. It's like, all right, you do all the hard work. When you get to be popular and you can make money, we'll step in. We'll take a huge percentage of it and show you how to make more money that we can then capitalize on. So the industry's changed drastically about the whole monetizing of how this stuff works. It's really kind of predatory if you think about it. Winona's Godfather saw him at the airport while on LSD. Cool guy, sold that album to RPM. All things must pass. Creepy. Yes. Yes. On LSD. I love that so much. That was obviously a Timothy Leary comment. My apologies for not seeing that earlier. Oh, yes. Timothy Leary. Well, that's like when Cheech and Chong came to the station. We got to hang out with Cheech and Chong. Like Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong. And they absolutely got high. So, I mean, you put that in your scrapbook, right? It's like, oh, what do you do with Cheech and Chong? Nothing. That'd be like saying, what do you do with Snoop Dogg? Nothing. You were hanging with Snoop Dogg? Yeah. Did you get high? No. Does he smoke pot or something? 80 joints a day. I mean, you couldn't be with a man 6 minutes and he wouldn't spark one up. That's a lot. It's a lot if you think about that. All right? I'm just saying. All right, let's see. Who was born on this day? Howie Mandel was born on this day. Howie Mandel's a germaphobe, if you didn't know that. He won't shake hands with anybody, and he doesn't like to touch anything. He's a total germaphobe. He's 70. Still hanging in there. Tom Sizemore, actor Tom Sizemore, he died in 2023. He would have been 64 today. Sizemore was in Saving Private Ryan, Reservoir Dogs, I believe. He was in a bunch of movies. He was always sort of portrayed a tough guy, bad guy, but always a tough guy. He was definitely not a shrinking violet in his movie roles, for sure. Andrew McCarthy of St. Elmo's Fire, 63 today. Don Cheadle from Boogie Nights. Remember Don Cheadle? I love this scene at the end where he wants to get money from the bank. They're like, we don't lend money to pornographers. And then he's inside when that stick up happens and just gets covered in blood. And he's just like, okay, everyone's dead. There's all this money sitting here. I'm outie. And I'm taking the cash. I was like, yeah. That's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, that's uh-huh. That's the kind of luck you want to have, right? Okay, so bad guy gets shot, owner gets shot, everyone's shot, and I'm staying here covered in blood, and there's a lot of money sitting in a bag. Well, assume that the robber had a partner. Are there video cameras nearby? That channel is 62 today. Also, Anna Faris from Scary Movie. Come on, that's. I miss those kind of movies. Why don't they make those parody movies anymore? That's what we should do, is make another parody movie, because those are always so funny. You know, they sort of mock the movies that are already out there. So mocking the movies. Anna Faris is 49 today. And Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick, Black Panther, was his birthday today. He would have been 49. Unfortunately, Chadwick left us. Passed away. And also on this day was David Dennery of the Mamas and Papas. His birthday was today. Also passed. And then who died today? Well, we know that George Harrison died today. Also, Cary Grant, the very famous Hollywood actor Cary Grant. He died at 82 on this day. And Natalie Wood. Natalie Wood died at 43. She was one of these actors that died of very mysterious circumstances. She drowned, but under mysterious circumstances, I believe is what they always say. So, meaning like, did she get pushed in the water? Was she paddling saying, please help me out? And someone's like, yeah, I'm not really going to help you. You just keep paddling and we'll see how long you last. I think that was from the White Lotus. You know, kind of pushed in the water. Oops. Sorry. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I can only surmise these things. That's what you have to do. You have to surmise things sometimes. That's how it works. Right? Right. So hopefully everyone's done with their traveling. Everyone's returned home to your loved ones, or you left your loved ones and you return home to your solace and solitary life, which is probably better than being with all your loved ones. They're good in small doses. That's how I look at it. The family's good in small doses, right? You know, like medicine. Sometimes you need it to fix things that are broken, and other times you're like, oh my God, this tastes like crap. I really only need this in small doses. Yes, I know. I'm a horrible, horrible human being. It's all right. I know it, and that's what's okay about it. Knowing that you're horrible is half the battle. Just saying. All right. So that was this day. Music, news, births, deaths, all that stuff. I was digging through. I went down to the station this evening, and we shot some footage for an intro. So we're going to try and make an intro. I broke some stuff, just so you know. So don't be surprised if you see stuff broken. I may have smashed a guitar or two, or broken some glass. Maybe destroyed a bathroom. I mean, why not? I mean, you know, break shit. Go fast, break shit. Break shit, go fast. All that. That's what's to do, right? I mean, we don't want to live this solitary, sedentary life. You have to do stuff. So get out and do something. Do something. Don't just sit on your ass. Go do something. Partake in life. It's part of it. You know, that's the whole point of it. That's why I always try and tell people, I'm like, never live vicariously through someone else. Would've, could've, should've should never be on your tombstone. Okay? If you don't go screeching sideways into the grave, fully worn out, saying, what a ride, then you didn't do it right. Just saying. Okay? So don't wait around for tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. You have to live today for the here and the now. So do what you want to do, damn it. As long as it doesn't hurt anybody else or yourself, Go enjoy. Get out into the world and go do shit. That's my message of hope today after Thanksgiving, dealing with no one, thankfully, because I avoided a 27-person dinner of family, extended family. Just saying, that's a lot. That's a lot to put up with. It's a lot of drunk uncles and aunts conversations about politics and what are you doing these days? Tell us what you're doing. Tell us what your job. It's like, shut up and leave me alone. I just want to go on the couch and go watch something that's not this. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, on that note, please, don't forget to like, subscribe, all those things you're supposed to do. Hit notifications so you're notified when things happen. That's important. So you have to know these things. And we'll do this again tomorrow, because tomorrow will be Sunday, the day before everyone has to go back to work. Now, see, tomorrow I did demo. So I destroyed a kitchen, sledgehammered and broke stuff. It was beautiful. I loved it. I'm going to break more stuff tomorrow. I ordered a bunch of stuff. And my credit card, I talked about last night, my credit card issue got resolved. So I did, in fact, purchase $6,000 worth of stuff yesterday, as opposed to not, because my credit card company was like that. So, all right. I will look forward to seeing everybody at a later time and date, and we will do this all again. Until then, bonsoir, and we will fade to black. Or, I don't know what.